Jeffrey Dahmer, often known as the Milwaukee Monster, is infamous for a series of terrifying crimes that haunted America in the late 1980s and early 1990s. His story is one of both tragedy and unfathomable horror. It all began in a small town where he was born in the mid-1960s. Jeffrey was a quiet, introverted child who struggled socially. He developed a strange fascination with animal skeletons. His family either failed to notice or ignored these dark tendencies, and over time, tension in the household grew. When his parents divorced, Jeffrey was left completely alone, and this loneliness, combined with his inner compulsions, led him down an increasingly dark path. By the time he moved to Milwaukee in the late 1980s, Jeffrey had found a place where he had the freedom to carry out his sinister plans. During this period, he began luring young men from bars to his apartment. He gained their trust, then drugged and killed them. After incapacitating his victims, he committed unspeakable acts on their bodies, often driven by dark, twisted desires. Jeffrey dismembered his victims' bodies, freezing some parts and storing others. He kept bones as mementos, and horrifyingly, he even consumed parts of his victims. For Dahmer, these acts represented a sense of control. As irrational as it may seem, he believed that keeping his victims close this way helped ease his loneliness and allowed him to retain them as companions in some form. In 1991, a young man named Tracy Edwards managed to escape from Jeffrey's apartment, reporting his horrific experience to the police. This ultimately led to Dahmer's capture. When the police entered Jeffrey's apartment, they discovered a nightmarish scene: body parts stored in his freezer, documents identifying his victims, and a skull displayed on a wall. Once captured, Jeffrey confessed to his gruesome murders, providing chilling details, and was sentenced to life in prison. However, in 1994, another inmate killed him in prison. The story of Jeffrey Dahmer is remembered as the tragic, horrifying life of a lonely man who became one of society's worst nightmares. People still struggle to understand how a person could transform into such a monstrous figure, and his story remains an eerie mystery lodged in the public's memory.